Hello, Leo, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of, I said reading, right? For the week of May 16th through the 23rd. I feel my tongue getting a little tied there. And during that time, we have a new moon that comes in on the 17th. So, of course, that's a time for a fresh start, new beginnings, good time to learn a new skill or to start any new projects, be they inner or outer, or to make new decisions. So keep that in mind. We then move into the waxing crescent energy for the rest of the week. As that moon starts to gain some light, that's a time of heightened senses, a good time for us to just be, kind of clear-headed and live up to our expectations and our intentions. So please keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter. So keep that in mind, Leo, and take what resonates and leave what doesn't here on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is that emotions are running high. Okay, let's see what the Leo Collective has going on. That is the card of the supermoon. This month we have a blue moon, which means we have two full moons in 1 month period. So we've just come out of the full moon period, and we will have one also at the end of the month. So a blue moon, when you hear the phrase once in a blue moon, that's because having two full moons in 1 month is kind of a rare occurrence. I can't remember how often it happens. Anyway, I'll stop babbling about that. My fun weekly reminder for you, Leo, this week is that you do take the time to learn something new. It's definitely the good moon energy for that this week. Think of something that you've thought of recently and thought, I want to do a deep dive and really learn something, and give yourself, even if it's a couple of hours, to maybe read a book or find a lecture on it, maybe even take a class. This card wants to come out, so we're going to let it come. But learn something new, and that's just my fun weekly reminder. Do a deep dive on something and really learn something. You've got all sorts of cards here that are trying to come out for this reading, Leo. All right, we will get into this reading. So May 16th through the 23rd, emotions are running high. We are going to take these cards in order here. So your overall energy right now is Knight of Wands. So action on something that you're really, really passionate about. Taking some sort of action and doing, and that's really good. It's something that you're driven to do. It's something that you really enjoy doing. It's something that you're constantly striving and learning about. So that's definitely where you are right now. It's your present energy is to do this thing that you're passionate about. Also, your current situation is that you have a new perspective on this. So maybe you're just giving it extra time. Maybe you've recently learned something. There's just been some sort of change or something recently for you that's given you kind of a new perspective on it. Maybe just a resurgence of sometimes we're passionate about something and it starts to kind of lose its luster, and something new comes along and we're kind of reinvigorated. And that's the feeling I'm getting here. At the root of your situation, Leo, is the Six of Pentacles. So this is about giving and receiving of either monetary things or money, but it also, this card can also be about energy. So some sort of giving and receiving is at the root of what's going on right here for you. And it's kind of changed your perspective. So maybe there's just been some sort of change there in the giving and the receiving. Are you giving more? If so, just do that graciously. Also, if you're receiving more right now, also do that just as graciously. In your recent past is the Ace of Swords. So in your recent past, you've had some sort of aha moment, some sort of mental breakthrough. I think I do remember that from your readings the past couple of weeks, that you guys have had something going on that was kind of a change, that you were making some sort of pretty big change. So it looks like you maybe initiated that change, and now we're starting to see the makings of it, right? On your mind this week is the Ten of Pentacles. So, it's some sort of goal that involves your passion, but it's like a long-term goal. This is our card of thinking about long-term wealth and security and long-term of doing things. So, it's like you're like kind of saying yes to your passions and letting that guide where you want to head in the big picture. This is a big picture card about where you're not thinking about 6 months in advance. You're thinking about, really the trajectory of the rest of your life and how you want that to go. And those are big thoughts to have. So, have those thoughts and do that thing that you're very passionate about, live the dream. What is just ahead of you this week? is your ultimate happiness here with the Five of Cups, so that's good. So whatever you're doing here is making you pretty happy. What's one of our happiest cards in the deck. Also, I would like you to go look up angel number 1010 to see if that's going to mean anything to you. Our other tens are about endings, and these are, and they're kind of like, not negative endings, but they're endings, and they're not the most negative looking photo pictures in the cards, right? It's kind of like making final push to get something through, or the other one is just the one with the swords in the back, and it's like it's kind of the done time to reboot card. These tens are about like the happy ending. So, when it's pentacles and cups here, so I think you're heading towards. It's like you're on the right path towards a happy ending, which I like. In your advice position here is the Two of Pentacles. So you may be kind of juggling to keep things in the air when it comes to either your money, your material things, whatever, and is that your advice is just to go ahead and do that, to keep those things moving, keep things in the air as whatever this change is going on. What is beyond your control here is the Knight of Swords. So beyond your control here is the Knight of Swords, which means, you're going to take some sort of action in the communication realm. And maybe this is where the high emotions are coming in. You're communicating things that you are passionate and emotional about. And that's a good thing. I mean, I feel like if it's, some expression that you're doing, that's a way to do it. But it looks like, kind of be careful of that. It's beyond your control. But look at your poor horse there. It's like, whoa, hold on a second there. So, but it's beyond your control. There's things that you feel like you just need the push. You have that desire to really communicate those things. All right, what is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Is the Four of Swords here, which is about rest and meditation. And is that your secret desire, is to get to a place this week where you feel like you're rested, meditating, that sort of thing? Or are you trying to avoid that altogether? You might just be all about motion and forward motion and moving. A few of these cards here, especially with these horses, kind of denote movement and taking action with things. So, are you taking all that action? Or are you also kind of taking care of yourself and resting and meditating? Or are you just trying to avoid resting at all? You just want to like strike while the iron's hot? What is in your outcome position here is the Five of Swords. So let's make sure that, again, if emotions are running high and if there are some words exchanged here, are you exchanging these words? Are you the person putting these words out there, or are you the receiver? Just watch the language. Maybe this week there might be, just some sort of exchange here for some reason. I'm not even seeing what is leading up to that. It could just be that there's kind of an issue that's lingering over. What is hidden from you this week, Leo, is the Knight of Pentacles. So no action really on the financial front when it comes to any of these things, but definitely, there's a lot of swords going on, and a lot of, like, it's like money's on your mind, but you're working your way to get to an ultimate goal, which that's commendable. So go ahead and keep doing that. Just keep an eye on maybe, when your emotions are high, what kind of words are being exchanged. Keep an eye on maybe words this week. All right, let's get you a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for Leo. And the card for you is to accept disappointment gracefully. So there may be some sort of thing that is disappointing, and that's maybe where these emotions are coming from. And the words are exchanged. So whatever that might be, just a little heads up for that. When it comes to self-care this week, let's get you a self-care wisdom card. Self-care for Leo this week, and the card is called Growth. Evolution starts when you leave your comfort zone. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. So maybe that's part of this too, that you are evolving. You've got this new perspective, but you're taking some action here. You've got these horses coming in, and you're doing things that are that are on point to be like your ultimate goal, right? It's like you're putting things in motion to get to an ending, to get to a happy ending, which is great. I mean, that's what we're all trying to do, right? So just watch whatever's going on here with these high emotions. And it could just be thoughts, ideas, words that are said that you're not really thinking about. So just, if that's something that you tend to do, just maybe think a little harder before you open your mouth and say things, and be kind. Just remember that your words have an effect on others. So Leo, thank you so much for being here. I do hope there's something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way this week. If you are comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below and let me know. or if you have questions, I'd be happy to answer those for you. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe is very helpful to me. So I appreciate that so, so much. Thank you so much for doing it. And good luck with all of this. I will see you next week. Bye bye.